Previously in Round Sailing, we left Panama City and sailed to the Pearl Islands, 35 nautical miles south of Panama City. We anchored outside beautiful Contadora Island and explored the island by foot. We weighed anchor and left Contadora to continue south in the archipelago.
So we just pulled up the anchor, let out the head sail, and we're just heading to the next island over here. 3 nautical miles, so not very far. It's a light but steady breeze today, 10 to 12 knots. From the north, and yeah, it's a beautiful day. Contadora was a really nice island, and what was the name of the island we're heading to, Malin? Alright, we're going to anchor between Chapera and Mogo Mogo.
Mogo Mogo is the place where they have filmed several seasons of the reality show Survivor.
That was many meters up. It's incredible. It's crazy how low the water is today and how high the water was during the night. Yesterday we were here, and then we were laying here on the beach, and the water, we were swimming like here. We were swimming yesterday in the afternoon, and then the low tide came and it got super low and then really high. So look, it's like someone pulled the plug to the bathtub and just sucked out all the water. So at the moment we have 1.8 meters under the keel, which is fine, but yeah, it's really low.
When we
really
arrived,
low.
we had 8.
Yeah, when we arrived we have 8 meters.
But you can really see how the current affects the boats. We're 3 boats anchored here at the moment, and as you can see on Ron, I think the current affects us the most because we're in the narrow part between the islands, and we have our stern facing the wind. And the catamaran over here, which is in the more wide area, the wind affects it the most, so it has the front to the wind, which is the normal way. Yeah, the boat in the middle is somewhere in the middle, so he's broadside to the waves. What do you think about the trees?
Oh, it's beautiful. So special. It's losing its skin.
It's almost like they grow straight out from the cliffs.
Yeah, it's crazy.
From the walls.
Yeah, coming straight up from the stone.
In the afternoon we'll try to exit the anchorage between the islands here. It's not possible when the water is as low as it is right now, but in a couple of hours it won't be a problem.
Because of the low tide, we could walk on the now visible rocks to the next bay. This whole part of the shoreline is submerged during high tide.
The anchoring here on the Pacific side, here in the Pearl Islands, is a bit more challenging than in the Caribbean because of the tides. I think the maximum tide here is around 6 meters. So of course you need to take that into account every time you drop your anchor. You need extra chain, and also you need to think about what will happen when it's low tide, so you don't hit any rocks. And also the sharks here in the Pearl Islands, I guess they're more accurate than in the San Blas area, but still there's a lot of reefs and rocks that are not sharded here. So you need to think about that as well.
With the head sail out, Ron sailed us further south to our next anchorage.
Platanaal is so small and surrounded by rocks that it's not pointed out as an anchorage in our guidebook. But our Swedish friends on Carpe Mare had found a way to get in and anchor. We anchored at 8 meters at high tide, and since it's too narrow to swing at the anchor, we did some good teamwork and tied together all of our lines and then to a tree ashore to keep the boat in line.
As the sun went down, the beach came alive. Platanaal has what looks like two piers of rocks that are visible during low tide. These piers make the bay very protected with calm water. The water wasn't as clear though as in the northern islands because of all the krill and plankton.
Jag tror den är död.
I don't know.
Look at the tail. No, I was just going in the water and then I saw this tail and the shape of a manta ray. And it is a manta ray.
think it might be dead. It doesn't move at all. But I don't know.
Nu rör han sig.
Ja, rör han sig.
Vad konstigt att han vill ligga här.
Han solar kanske lite så.
Since it was low tide, we wanted to see if we could walk around the island.
Quite many birds.
Oh, wow, it's so cool. It's hundreds of them.
Thousands.
Thousands, yeah. Where are they going?
This is really proof on how rich the waters are around these islands with all these birds.
It's such a pretty place. I love Las Perlas. Wow, it's so... People don't talk enough about these islands. Mostly talk about San Blas on the other side, but wow, this is incredible, this place. And the wildlife, so amazing. So many birds and a lot of fish. I mean, there are the whales here when it's during the rain season. Humpback whales. And there's just so much to explore. Now Johan has seen something. What have you found?
I don't know. What do you think this is? All these small pellets of it's just sand, but
Don't you think it's from the crab?
do you think it's
Yeah.
just him that has been throwing that stuff out
Could
from that small hole?
Could be, yeah. Oh,
Make sure to jump.
oj. Wow.
Looks like something from the Lord of the Rings. The old forest. Do you think it's what are those called? Baobab tree? So over there we have the boats,
Yes.
and hopefully we made it all the way around the island.
They are writing goodbye to us. Today is the last time that we meet on this trip, I guess. Because now we're heading different directions. They're heading west to Galapagos and French Polynesia, and we're heading to Hawaii and then north. So we've been sailing together for like almost a year now, more or less, like meeting up different places. It's always nice to meet a boat from your own country. So pretty here. We have our own beach. And right now the water is getting higher and higher. It's starting to get high tide. So I guess in an hour or two, it goes so fast. Like in 2 hours, I think the water will cover these rocks completely. And the water might go all the way up there where the bushes are. Next morning we woke up and found out that we weren't so alone anymore.
We have some company on the beach. Pretty amazing, huh?
We just woke up and just looked outside to see how everything was, and we've got company by like some thousands of birds.
It's like a Hitchcock movie.
After a while, the birds moved to the water and formed a big group. We figured out that they were chasing the fish to where they wanted it.
National Geographic movie or something. There's thousands of them. Feeding frenzy.
Time to eat.
I think we have the best seats for this show. So we're making the boat ready for the longer passages ahead. So we're going to transform this wind generator to a towing generator instead. Because it's a lot more efficient when you're sailing to have it as a towing generator. But it's a bit of a work to convert it. It takes about half an hour, 40 minutes. We can't really use it as a wind generator when we're sailing because there's not enough room behind the mainsail and the backstay. So, and of course it's a lot more efficient to use it as a towing generator when you're sailing.
And we've got company by the old sea dog. He joined us this morning and we helped him with the line ashore. And he has 2 crew on board, which is keeping him company. sailing around the Pearl Islands.
We met up with Barry, Dale and Justin on the beach for sundowners. This was our last one with Barry, as we're now heading in different directions.
Thank you for watching, and we hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, we'd really appreciate a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and you can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram. See you in a week!